Let's get to the Uvalde body cam footage with new reports pointing to the systemic failures in police response to the Uvalde
with more troubling images and a new report about the botched police response to the Uvalde school shooting. That city's mayor has now released body cam footage from first responders, and that footage shows confusion among some of the officers about what exactly is happening, even though one policeman told the others his wife could be among the victims. Lilia Luciano is in Uvalde for us once again this morning. Lilia, good morning. First comprehensive report to come out. What are we learning?
Well, Tony, what we're getting is a fuller picture of the chaos of that excruciating.
Bro, this video, the Uvalde story is so fucking crazy because it's quite literally like every week they're like, oh my God, it turns out they were dumber than we thought. Oh my God, it turns out here's a video of a cop literally being like, I don't really care about fucking this school shooting. Like, my favorite show is on and I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to get home on time. Like, it's just cop shit. And it is in broad fucking daylight for the first time ever because people finally fucking were like, let's ask some questions about the situation because this is a devastating incident, right? And something doesn't add up with what the cops were fucking saying. That's it.
Eating weight, but what we may never understand is having an understanding of why it took nearly 400 officers from at least 7 different law enforcement agencies 73 minutes to take down the shooter. I will warn you, the images you're about to see were edited to protect the families, but many will still find them distressing.
Oh, shots fired! Get inside! Go, go, go! Take cover, guys. Am I bleeding? Am I bleeding? Am I bleeding?
New body cam footage released by the Uvalde mayor shows the first moments officers arrived at Robb Elementary School.
Dog, you might be thinking 400 officers, 7 fucking different precincts and 7 agencies? What the fuck's going on? This is America as a police state. This is what happens when the only fucking institutions that are actually getting funding, adequate funding, more than adequate funding, and expansive budgets is the military for policing overseas and colonialism, and the police force for policing domestically and operating as an occupying force here. And for the record, all the fucking ex-military motherfuckers in the chat will also admit this, but like, as much as the army and as much as the military loves to say like, you know, how brave they are or whatever, ultimately, it's not like they're more competent either. They're certainly more competent than the cops, and they have a different rule. They have different rules of engagement. But being in the military and touring in Afghanistan, in many instances, is about fucking literally just getting shot at with sniper fire from across the, across the fucking tree line, ducking into a trench, or hiding behind a fucking wall as you wait for air cover to come in and fucking rip wherever the tree line is. With air support. That's it. That's like what the military does. Because human beings are not John Rambo. Human beings are not like the way that you see human beings in movies. We're understandably terrified of guns. We're understandably terrified of losing our lives. This is a perfectly normal thing. But the idea that we have John Rambos everywhere, both in fucking, the military and both in the fucking police force, is a silly notion that allows this level of militarization in the police force and allows the funds to never dry out for the police force. That allows the Uvalde police force to get 40% of the fucking budget. But when push comes to shove, this is the reality. When push comes to shove, this is how cops operate because that's how humans operate. This is how it is.
My wife's classroom. He's shooting in the classroom. He got me, right?
About 4 minutes after the shooter entered rooms 111 and 112, one officer is grazed. School police officer Ruben Ruiz was heard in the background, recognizing his wife's classroom.
Dude, we gotta get in there. We gotta get in there. He just keeps shooting.
But seconds later, confusion and misinformation. In a different body cam video from another officer who heads outside to take cover and alert dispatch, he seems to believe the suspect is inside an office.
He's contained. We got multiple officers inside the building at this time. He believes he's barricaded in one of the offices. Messed up, is still shooting.
Shortly after, the urgency fades and officers are seen waiting and waiting.
What are we doing
looking
here?
for guidance.
What are we doing here?
some begin to break windows and pull students out of the building.
Yeah, go, 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 go.
By now, we see the first images of the school district's chief of police, Pete Arredondo.
Sir, if you can hear me, please put your firearm down, sir. We don't want anybody else hurt.
Arredondo and other officers try to negotiate with the suspect.
Let me know if there's any kids in there or anything. This could be peaceful.
We hear police dispatch alert officers.
Are you fucking kidding me? There's a reason why there's a specialist for this shit, dude. Even in the movies, you see that where they're like, oh, don't talk to the fucking guy holding the hostages until the hostage negotiator comes in. This motherfucker's like, yo, bro, come on, please. If I say pretty pink, please, will you leave the kids alone?
That a child is calling 911 from inside a classroom.
You have a child on the line.
Oh, by the way, they just straight up lied. Every one of these videos shows that they just lied across the board as like little pieces came fucking falling. Bit by bit. Every single thing that they said originally, and then every single follow-up that they had to like cover their fucking tracks, all a lie. Remember when they were like, we didn't know there was still shooting happening.
Hey, what was that?
He is in a room full of victims.
Close to 5 minutes later.
And for the record, the reason why they thought that they could get away with lying like this was because cops protect cops. This is how it works. Cops lie all the time. As I've said before, they have a term for it. It's called test the lying. And that's the reason why they thought they could get away with it. But this time it was like such a severe situation that like 19 little babies were fucking slaughtered so ruthlessly that there was a little bit of pushback from the media for once. Instead of taking everything that they said hook, line, and sinker, they said they had no body armor. They said they have no method of communication with dispatch. All was a fucking lie. By the way, thank you to the anonymous gifter for gifting 10 gifted subs. And they had fucking body cam footage. Like, why did you lie about it? Well, they lied about it because they thought that they would be able to get away with it.
Arredondo is seen heading towards a classroom, not where the shooter was, to test keys and appears unable to open it. More minutes tick by with little action appearing to be taken by the officers inside the school, besides trying to talk to the suspect.
Please put your gun down, sir. Please don't hurt anyone else.
And more keys to open the door that we've come to learn was likely already unlocked.
We're testing keys.
There were multiple systemic failures.
On Sunday, a Texas committee found that the chaotic scene was caused by a lack of leadership. The committee released a 77-page report which found that those first responders who went right towards a shooter's classroom within minutes acted appropriately at first. But all officers failed to prioritize saving the lives of...
Bro, where's his manners, dude? Where's the mass school shooter's manners? The chief of police is saying, pretty pink, please. I'm surprised. I mean, seriously.
Of innocent victims over their own safety. It also found that the shooter had a problematic history and even earned the nickname school shooter on social media platforms because of violent threats he would make against other users.
If you know there's active shooting, active killing going on, or somebody is dying, the standard is you have to continue to do something to stop that killing.
The report said that there were no villains, that nobody acted other than the shooter, of course, with ill motive. It also states that while it's likely most people died within the first minutes, it's plausible others may have been saved if police had acted sooner. They're waiting for more medical evidence to conclude how many. Tony.
All right, Lilia, thank you very much. Lilia made that note at the end. The report points out that some victims died on the way to the hospital. So while they use the word plausible, I think anyone who's even been around an ER will tell you that if you're alive on the way to the hospital and you could have gone sooner, there's a good chance they would have had a better shot at saving your life.
100%. That's how that works.